Guys, do you want to be the next to record the Goodnight Chabad use with your mother or your father? Just fill out the form below and let us know. Guys, do you want to be the next to record the Goodnight Chabad use with your mother or your father? Just fill out the form below and let us know.
Hey Chabad Youth kids, thanks Shneir Zalman. Did you guys hear that amazing opportunity? You just might be the next boy or girl who gets to hear the Goodnight Chabad Youth story, not just from the Chabad Youth team, but from your mother or father if you're chosen in the raffle. So if you want to let us know if you want to be in that raffle, we're going to give you the criteria of how to read the Goodnight Chabad Youth book together with us. And you'll be broadcasted not just to your own family, but to everyone in the Chabad Youth community. So check out chabadyouth.org/virtual and fill out the form and let us know. But for tonight, we've got an amazing book for Goodnight Chabad Youth. It's called Oops, I'm Sorry. It's a fantastic book by Sarah Blau. She actually wrote the book that we read last week. How funny is that? She wrote a lot of lovely books and illustrated by Erin Taylor. Oops, I'm Sorry was my choice book this week because a couple reasons. Number one is because it just recently got to Australia, so that's exciting. It's probably a new one for a lot of you. And another reason it's exciting is because it's a really special time of year when Oops, I'm Sorry might be something that we want to learn how to do. So let's see what this book is all about. Okay, we've got two boys and that massive tower inside, and I'm gonna get reading. Turn to an angle that you can see the beautiful illustrations, and let's go. Avi and Gavi came home one bright day. They opened the door and they heard Mommy say, "Welcome home, boys." She gave them a hug and set out some wafers and milk in a mug. Lovely. Look how lucky these boys are. Come home, big hugs for Mom. And let's see what happens next. They made the right bracha on their little snack when Gavi's whole cup spilled down Avi's back. Oops, Gavi said, but then he grew still and said nothing else about the big spill. I can see what's going on there. Big spill of milk. He definitely didn't mean to do it. He did say, oops. His brother doesn't look so excited about what he just got decorated in, does he? Let's see what happens. Hey, Avi jumped. Just look at my sweater. It's all full of milk and it couldn't be wetter. But Gavi just sat there and looked a bit sad. It wasn't on purpose. Why are you so mad? That's a good question. It was an accident, so why are you so mad at me? Let's see what he answers. Because even when it's just a mistake, the kind of mistake that anybody could make, there are always 3 steps for people to take. So now we're going to learn something really important, and especially during this month of Elul, it's a very special lesson to learn. Saying sorry is first. Help to fix it, and then find a way to make sure it won't happen again. So those are the 3 steps. First, we have to say, I'm sorry. We have to try to fix it. And then we have to make sure it doesn't happen again. Gavi is being brave. Let's see what he says. Gavi took a deep breath. I'm sorry I wet you. To fix it, I'll find paper towels I can get you. He thought and he said, with my next milk and wafer, I'll put my cup far from the edge to be safer. So guys, can you hear the way Gavi practiced all 3 things? First, he said, I'm sorry I wet you to his brother. Then he had to find paper towels to make sure that his brother can get all dried up. And then he made a plan to make sure the spill that we just witnessed here on the table doesn't happen again. Because if his cup is positioned better, great plan. It probably won't be knocked over as easily. Avi watched Gavi clean up with a smile, and the 2 of them went off to play for a while. Here they go, down the hallway together. They both look pretty happy. Looks like we fixed up the situation. Let's see what happens next. Avi set up his train tracks and made double lanes. Together, the 2 boys directed the trains. Super fun. We love train tracks in this house as well. Here they are, double lanes going in different directions. They look like they're playing together really nicely. But Gavi was steering too fast round and round when he slipped and he flopped and he plopped on the ground. The trains left the tracks. Away they all flew. The beautiful setup was knocked over too. That whole train situation that they worked so hard to build looks like it just got scattered all over their house. He doesn't look really happy about that. That was an accident or on purpose? It looked like an accident, didn't it? And it definitely sounded like an accident. If when he slipped, that's when he fell on top of it and knocked it all over. But let's see what happens next. We're going to see what he practices now. We see a brother who's not so happy and a brother who's going to try to figure out what to do about that. Gavi said, oops, it was just a small fall. There's no way I meant this to happen at all. Avi still looked upset. Gavi saw and he knew exactly which 3 things he needed to do. Let's practice. Saying sorry is first. Help to fix it, and then find a way to make sure it won't happen again. Those are the 3 steps, and now we're going to check out how Gavi practices them. Well, Gavi's going to speak now to his older brother. Let's see what he says. Gavi said, I'm so sorry I broke up the track. I'll fix it and put all the pieces right back. And for the next time, I want you to know I'll slow down a bit when I make my trains go. I see Gavi was really focused on identifying how he was going to do all 3 of those steps. So let's start with the first one. The first one is to do what? To say sorry. And he did. He said, I'm so sorry that I broke up the track. What was the second one? The second step was to do what we can to fix it. We're going to help to try to fix it. So I can see him taking the pieces of the tracks and trying to put them back together again. And then the third step, which is a really hard step sometimes, is to find a way to make sure it won't happen again. How did Gavi do that now? Well, I can see that he said the next time when he plans, he's going to try to slow down a bit when he makes the trains go. When you slow down, sometimes it's easier not to slip. Sometimes you slip even when you're going slow, but when you go really fast, it happens more often. I think Gabby did a really good job doing all 3 steps. So Gabby attached all the tracks one by one, connecting the pieces until he was done. I forgive you, said Avi. Let's get some blocks down and add a big tower to Little Train Town. Look at that picture. Can you see how proud Gabby is of what he's done? And so is his older brother. He seems pretty happy with that setup as well. Good work, Avi. Let's see what happens next. Oh my goodness, we have to turn the book sideways because this tower is so big. They balance the blocks, adding one then another, and having such fun taking turns with each other. The tower was perfect. The tallest they'd built. So strong and so straight. Not a wobble or a tilt. They seem like expert builders. I'm sure you guys all during lockdown are discovering all the amazing talents that you've got. Are you really good cup stackers? You could be trying cup stacking. That's a fun thing to compete with. Or you might have blocks and you can make really high towers. I love the way they're working together because that's sometimes hard when you're all stuck at home to figure out ways that we can all work together and enjoy whatever we're doing while we're doing it together. Let's keep going. Let's show our big sister. She's right down the hall. When you're really excited, you want to show off everything you're doing. So I see the 2 of them excitedly calling their big sister. And here she comes. Dina, come here, please, they started to call. What is it, she asked. Dina opened the door and let it slam shut, which shook the whole floor. Bum-ba-dum-bum. What do you think's gonna happen? We could take some lucky guesses now. Let's turn the page to find out. The tower they'd built with such care, block by block, came tumbling down to their sadness and shock. When Dina saw all of that mess by her feet, she knew what to do and did not miss a beat. So I see 2 pretty devastated brothers and an older sister, Dina, who's watching this all. She looks really sad and sorry that she made this mistake to slam the door. It was definitely a mistake. She didn't intentionally knock over the tower. Now she already knows what to do. Let's follow those 3 steps. I wonder if you guys can say it for Dina. Saying sorry is first. Help to fix it. And then find a way to make sure it won't happen again. Let's see what happens and how she practices that. Oh, boys, I'm so sorry about my mistake. Letting go of that door made your whole building break. She said sorry in a really nice way. I'm going to help you. And here's what we'll do. We'll build it all over again, just like new. From now on, I'll close the door gently, okay? Okay? It's really much better to close it that way. She did a really good job, Dina did, didn't she? She first said that she's sorry about her mistake. And she acknowledged that it made the whole building get knocked down. Then, what did she do for step 2 to help to fix it? She said, okay, let's all get together. I'm going to help you guys build it back up again. And then she figured out a way to make sure it doesn't happen the next time, knocking over more towers, because now she's going to be careful to close the door gently. She figured out a way. And that's really the better way anyway, right? Good lesson, Dina. They named their new tower, rebuilt just as high, the I'm Sorry Tower. I'm sure you know why. And here we've got our 3 lovely siblings standing, holding hands with a lot of Ahavas Yisrael and Achdus, unity and love, in front of their I'm Sorry Tower. Isn't this a fabulous book? I'm going to read a little note at the back. In this story, Gavi upsets his older brother. When people make mistakes, the Torah guides us how to do teshuvah and make things right. The first part of teshuvah is admitting we made a mistake and saying sorry for what happened. We ask forgiveness from the person we hurt and from Hashem. Another important part is fixing what went wrong, like replacing or paying for something we've broken or lost. Finally, and this part is part 3, a complete teshuvah means deciding not to make the same mistake in the future and finding a way to make sure it doesn't happen again. So isn't that a beautiful message? Do you know the word teshuvah? You've probably been hearing it or singing it in your online classes. This is a great way to make teshuvah really super practical. Think about all the things you might sometimes do wrong, like maybe, possibly, especially during lockdown with some of your siblings, or maybe with your parents or your friends, and how you answered or played, even if it was over the computer. So the first step is to try to remember, I'm not so sure if what I said to her was so kind or that I would enjoy the way we're treating this other girl. I don't know if I would enjoy it if people treated me that way. So the first thing you might have to do is say, I'm sorry, that wasn't so kind. The second thing, like we said, is to ask first is to ask forgiveness. But the second thing is to try to fix it. There's something that we can fix. Like in some of the examples they gave here in the book, they were able to replace something if they broke it. Maybe fixing it might have to be a little bit more tricky if it's somebody's feelings, but there's ways that we can fix the hurts that we made in somebody's feelings as well. It depends what we did. And the third, which is such an important one, is deciding not to do it again. So even though it might really be easy sometimes to make mistakes, and it might happen without us intending to, but planning right to make sure it doesn't happen again has a very important part of teshuvah. And that's why it's a great message for Elul when we're getting ready for a brand new year and telling Hashem we're sorry for the mistakes that we made and we're going to be so much better going forward. So boys and girls, I hope your negelbusters are by your bed, you brushed your teeth, you're ready to say Shema, and we hope you had a beautiful time reading the Goodnight Chabad Youth story with me. And if you want to be, again, that lucky boy or girl who gets to read the Chabad Youth story with your mother or father following our criteria, check out the link on chabadyouth.org/virtual. Let us know if you're interested. We're going to make a raffle, announce the winners, and you might just be on the screen next week reading a book at Goodnight Chabad Youth.